to meet Clive because I'm not the one for staying at home and just talking on the internet or you know, just writing back and forward. You actually have to meet the people that you're talking to, and I think Clive interests me from the point that he does seem funny, he does seem charming. He's either going to be my dream date or my worst nightmare, and it's that drives me down here. You never know if you don't go ahead and do it. Hi!
Hiya!
Hi!
Alright!
I made it! Pleased to meet you at last!
Pleased to meet you.
Oh, off the road.
Aye, let's not get knocked out. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. You're going to be nervous, eh?
Actually, really, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not anyway.
Oh, that's good. I was going to ask you the same question.
Yeah.
I'm not too bad, actually.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Do you fancy a quick cup of coffee?
I most certainly do, yeah. I'm really thirsty, actually.
Let's watch the traffic now.
I love Wales. I've got friends down here. I've been before, so
Good.
it's okay.
God, you like Wales.
I do, very much. Anything Celtic.
Yeah. There we are. Make yourself comfortable.
Thanks. Just here, is that okay?
Yeah. Unless you want to sit on my lap.
Well, maybe.
Maybe later on.
Yeah, you can sit on mine. We'll toss a coin for that later.
You got a nice smile. I gotta give it to you. You got a beautiful smile.
Met Clive on Dating Direct. In fact, he sent several emails a day, and it would be quite overwhelming. But you soon realise that he actually had this sort of standard mail, and that there was more than one person he was actually sending it to. But it's interesting when he sends sort of coloured pictures and coloured background and different flowers on them. Things. So yeah, he attracted my attention, shall we say. He came across as a very friendly, open chap on the email and in the phone. You know, talk about current affairs and children and animals and everything really. And I thought, oh, you know, he seems quite nice.
But I think it's more to do with his obsession. That it's not doing these women any good because they're not happy, and he's not settled down with any one person for very long to say, well, yes, he did have a go at the relationship, or he made the effort. So I think it's quite sad, really. There's no stopping him.
Good morning, Clive. Well, here's my webcam. I've not long gone from work, so I'm a little bit tired. We had a hectic night. I mean hectic. And unfortunately, I have to sit here and wait for the man to come and pick up the skip. Between 8 and 12, so I have to sit here and wait. As you can see behind me, there's my cat by my Tigger. On the other side you can see all my boxes. See, all the packing and that. It's a glorious day out here. The sky's blue, bit nippy, but it's not too bad. And hey, what did you say about my spelling? I read that on Hotmail about my spelling, about making mistakes, not getting it right. You cheeky monkey. I don't know what else to say now. Isn't it awful? A woman lost for words. Believe it! I'm lost for words. Anyway, I'm going to stop this now, because I don't want to bore you. And I shall now zip it and send it to you and see how it goes. Anyway, ciao!
I'll have you, my darling. Happy now. Yeah, but not a lot. Pick me up. Yeah. Peppers?
No. Well, Luke, if you like studs, girl. girls, then you're going to love this next bloke, Clive. Now, what we get from Clive is the true sense of what it means to be a stud, and he lets us into the secret of where he finds his women.
I seem to have tapped into a hornet's nest. Swarms of women. Hundreds of women. You can go on dating sites and spend days and you still won't go through all the women. Emailing all the women on these dating sites.
So this man must be doing something right because he's on this groundbreaking documentary called Studs of Suburbia, which follows the unusual lives of real-life Casanovas. He's pulling hundreds of women online. He must be a bit of a legend, this fella. He must have a fair few skills with a keyboard, so let's have a look at his online profile. Right, now, he's called Lucky Lips 2005. I'm not going to say that myself. What else does it say on his profile? Oh, standing 5'9" or 6 foot tall. Depending on what heels he's wearing. Look at his picture as well. Anyone else who'd pause next to a smart sports car or something, well, not him, it's a telephone. He's like, hey, look, girls, I've got a landline. Clive's got a new lady coming to see him tonight, and he's got a bit of a ritual when it comes to get ready. Now, I've always wondered, how does a stud prepare for the seduction of a woman? Now, what must Clive's bathroom be like? I'm seeing black marble, huge mirrors, expensive lotions, maybe a chalice with flames coming out of it or something like that. There's definitely going to be a leopard skin towel. Now, I've obviously got it totally wrong here. Clive's got it right. Forget the black marble and expensive lotions. What you need is a pot of E45 cream, an aquamarine sink, and a spray of Lynx under your armpits, yeah. It's the holy trinity of seduction. Now, so if you're going to get a girl back, you've got to be prepared. You've got to stock up on things like oysters, champagne, strawberries. Let's see what Clive's got in his fridge.
Clive is making last-minute arrangements, checking there are sufficient hobnobs and Chardonnay in stock before dinner descends from Scotland.
So, right, now lucky lady Dawn is about to drive 500 miles for a packet of hobnobs. I must have it right, lads, we've all got it wrong. It's all about the hobnobs and the wine. He's even got a collection of underwear from the lucky ladies he sleeps with. Now, he looks upon this as a silky medal of honour, and like any medal, you keep them under lock and key in a nice velvet display cabinet.
I got them in here. In case these women come back, by the way.
I was wrong about the cabinet. He's got them in a plastic bag at the top of the cupboard. Class. Right, what's up next?
Here we go. I'm filming a nice pair of legs today. A lady buyer has been willing to come in to my sexy house, laying on my sexy bed, letting me film sexy legs. Because to me, legs is the most important part of a woman's body. I don't care about the boobs or what she looks like, because they say you don't look at the mantelpiece when you poke a fire anyway. Because to me, if she's got a nice pair of legs, that's what turns me on anyway, more than anything, even if she hasn't got any boobs at all. And as you can see, she's laying on top of my sexy bed with my tiger duvet that's been out on 4 documentaries, and one of them, my 100,000 Lovers, has been out all over the world. Now you can check that out on Google search. Just type in my 100,000 Lovers, and you can check me out as well. Just type my name in, Clive Worth, and you'll see all my stories that have gone around all the world, because this tiger duvet has been on a few magazines and papers as well. And I've also done a book, and oh wait a minute, where's my book gone? I went, wait, there's something under the skirt. Oh my god, clever girl, keeping my book under there. Here it is, by Me Clive Worth, and the title is Serial Shagger's Guide to Internet Dating, my 1001 Lovers. And you can check me out and my book on any search engine, not only Google. Just type my name in, Clive Worth. Wait a minute, my fingers are burning now, this book, my god. It's gone so hot all of a sudden. I wonder why. I better put it down. It's burning my fingers. Right. Film a bit of leg again for you. Here we are. Because I'm going to stop filming now. Because I'm going to do something about this. I'm getting a bit hot myself.
Dating. Chat rooms have become the ideal place for love rats to build their nests. Even for the most unlikely ones. Nestling in the rolling hills of South Wales is a sleepy little village that's home to Clive Worth. He's only been outside Wales 4 times in his life. He spends the long summer days walking in the beautiful countryside and watching nature take its course. And all that nature has clearly inspired him. He reckons he's the world's biggest love rat, and he's proud of it.
I became a love rat to safeguard myself from being hurt again. I'd been married to them and done everything for them, and I'd been so soft to them, and they'd all taken advantage of me.
Lonely. Clive had quite a hard and troubled life up until 3 years ago.
I'd been drinking every day for 10 years, and I finally stopped. And I honestly thought I was going to lead a boring life now.
Until he got chatting to a friend who told him all about internet dating sites.
All of a sudden, I saw all these beautiful women on the internet. I couldn't believe there were so many beautiful women on there. So I started dating, 1 or 2 at first, and before I knew it, I had 30, 40 wanted to meet me. Same time. I just couldn't have enough women.
Clive transformed his living room to accommodate his internet dating addiction. At any one time, he has 5 computers on the go, and just as many women, none of whom know about each other.
This is my den. This is where I spend most of my time, sitting in my den. And I got the armchair here. It's like a cockpit of a plane. And I sit down and go on to one of 25 dating sites I got.
Clive has a cunning way of enticing women, which he compares to fishing. He puts out his bait and lures them in.
You've got to pretend you're not sure what to do, and let them think that you're the first woman they've had a date with in about 2 years. They don't realize that you just had a date a day or 2 before that.
Clive reckons he's slept with over 1,000 women.
Listen, I'm on stage, right? I get women drooling after me, and I ain't checked 1,000 women. I need to go and see this guy. Me and him need to sit down and talk, but don't tell the wife.
Most love rats have a secret key skill. For Clive, it's words.
As the day goes on, you ask them if they want to see a film, and 9 times out of 10 they want to sit down and watch a film, and they drink the wine. And then the crucial part is, in the night, you ask if they want a game of Scrabble. Now, most women like Scrabble.
Yes, Clive has a seduction technique which we feel is probably unique.
As you're playing Scrabble, you're sitting by them and you're looking at their reaction, and you can sense that they're getting turned on, you see. You then know when to kiss or not. 9 times out of 10, when you kiss, it turns out to be a big kiss. The Scrabble is forgotten about. Okay, I'm going to take you out to where all the action happens, upstairs to my bedroom.
Monopoly, is it this time, Clive?
This is where all the action happens. This is my bunk-in bed. As you can see, there's a nice picture of a tiger on the bed, and that tends to turn the women on. In fact, the picture of the tiger turns them on more than me. With all the women I've made love to. Right, us.
After 2 failed marriages, retired miner Clive now lives on his own. He meets women through internet dating sites.
Most of my day is spent blogging, on and off chatting. I got a nickname that I use. My nickname is Lucky Lips 2005. I've just seen somebody I was talking to before. She phoned me last week and she disappeared. This one's very pretty. She's from Milton Keynes, and I was chatting with her last week. Now I'm going to try and get her to chat direct to me, 1-to-1. She's actually a barmaid. Like, I got her direct. How is you? And I said, how are you? Oh, I'm not working today. Just chilling. I tell her. Telling her, I'll pop down the Wales then, chill. Let's see how far I get with her now. Yeah, okay. She said, yeah, okay. All this. I told her now I got the kettle on. I actually had this woman in Bolton one morning. She said she'd pop down, and she did. She came down that day from Bolton. I'm getting all excited with this house. This was very pretty. I thought I'd lost her for good. All of a sudden she's back. And she said, yeah, okay, she'll wine. I got to be very fast here now to keep her in the conversation. And to me, this is like fishing now. Sounds good to me. You've got a big fish in the line, you've got to pull them in slowly, you see. And this one seemed to have got off my line and gone, and then she's come back again, you see. So I got to play it cool with her. I'd love to meet this one. I tend to feel with this one, because she's so pretty and so nice, I tend to feel as if I got to know her and that I already like her, you know, and I can't wait to meet her. These are some photos that I got from women that didn't have photos online, but prefer to send you photos. These are my private collection, my conquests, and they're very pretty women, you know, and proud that I've slept with such pretty women. This is a very pretty, attractive photo that I had of the Californian woman before she came over, and I couldn't wait to meet her. And then she comes over, and I couldn't find her in the station. I was thinking, where's this pretty woman from California? And there was a tap on my shoulder, and I turned around, and a little squeaky voice said, looking up at me, are you Clive? And I looked at her and I thought, oh my God, an old woman of 70. I couldn't believe how old she was. I had quite a few women turning up after sending pretty photos of themselves, younger photos. But the Californian one was the worst one yet, because she looked so old and so different to her photos. But as it turned out, she was very nice, and I had a good time with her, I got to say.
When not chatting online, Clive's time is governed by strict routines in preparation for his forthcoming date.
Sunbathing is very important for keeping me looking out. This is what the women like as well. There's no doubt about it. They go for looks. They say they don't. It's so comical, women. They never tell you their true and deep feelings. They often say looks doesn't matter, but they do go for looks. If I wasn't swimming, I'd probably slow down physically and mentally. But swimming does give me that stamina as well as energy. A lot of women have told me this, but I've got amazing stamina for my age, and that in fact they've had younger men than me with less stamina. I always try to avoid swimming and dating at the same time, but sometimes they clash. And the thing that surprised me more than anything was I was amazed at the stamina I had, and I was still able to handle a date better than ever before. So I always make sure now that when I get a date, I go swimming first. So then I'm well and truly ready for whoever I meet. It's important that I have a lot of phones, because wherever I am in the house, I make sure that I can pick up a phone straight away. You can bet your life if I'm in the bath, on the loo, the phone will go. Because some women, they don't like the phone straight away, or they don't feel like phoning, and then they get that mood at a certain time of day where they want to chat. So you've got to catch them at that certain time of day. If you miss that, then you could miss a date as well, because they might not phone back again. I'm not sure whose knickers is who, but they're all washed. All smell nice. Nice smell, and they're all ready for the women to come and pick them up. The only pair I do remember is these. The Californian girl had these, because she wanted to come back, you see. and I didn't like to tell her at the time that I didn't want to see her again. So I remember saying, by the way, she said, my gold nickel is in your bathroom, can you wash them for me? So I know that she owns these. I'm not sure about...
Clive has never travelled and rarely leaves the village, unless he's going on his weekly shop. He insists that all the women he dates journey to Wales to stay with him.
Well, I've got 3 lined up from north of England. I've had dates before with 2 women at the time. I've had that a few times, but having 3 women come along, and all 3 are telling me it's up to me who I want. My big goal is having 3 at the same time, and if possible 3 in bed. But they tend to want to have you 1-to-1 in bed, you know. Even when I meet women that I'm sure that I will have sex with and I think we will get on good, I still make sure I got plenty of women to fall back on. So even though I say it's a disaster if they do turn up and I don't get sex with them, it's more or less disappointing. But it looks this time that I might get it together with the 3, and that would be marvelous if that does happen.
For Clive, even choices of food are governed by sexual performance.
I eat a litre a day of yogurt. There's no need for Viagra or things like that, because I've done a lot of experimenting myself on knowing what to eat and what not to eat. To me, yogurt is the best you could ever get for a happy, healthy, long sex life. Marilyn came from High Wycombe. She was an Italian, my first Italian date, and we had chatted for only about a week or 2, and she was keen to see me, and I was keen to see her as well. And when she finally came, she came on a nice sunny day, and I was actually sunbathing in the nude out my back.
He had actually told me, I think, on the phone, he does sunbathing. And he normally sunbathed naked, but he would make sure he would have trunks on, which was the case. He answered the door. He was in trunks. I was sort of pre-warned, if you like.
And she actually came round the back and she shouted, "Hiya." I said, "Oh my God," I said, "You're here?" "Yes," she said. "And I can see you're undressed ready for me," she said. "Well, yes," I said. I was taken back by your comments, you know, because I thought she would have said, "Oh my God, quick, get dressed." But she was all excited seeing me in the nude.
I think then he made some remark to somebody naked or something like that. And I take things lightly. I think I made something flippant remark about this chance just got here, you know, just not going to say giving notice. I had the house tour. I had all these rules, and there was his room, and he said that the bed was stretching, and that he had like silence.
This is my bed that I spend a lot of time in. This is where I bring the women I meet, and I bring them up here and we get in here. I still don't even know if they're going to sleep with me or not, but 9 times out of 10 they do. And they say, "Yeah, you've got a nice bed." They all have my bed cover with the tiger. This is what you can call the bonking bed.
now on 5, 3 people addicted to sex. With strong language, nudity, and material of a sexually explicit nature. Shock Docs, my 100,000 lovers.
Triggers it off or where it comes from. I just know that it happens, and I get really stressed out. I'm kind of moody when I don't have sex, and I can't sleep properly. And it's not even just to orgasm. It's to have sex, skin on skin. It's really crazy. I think about sex constantly. So if I don't get it, I'm thinking about how I'm going to get it, and it's easy for me to get.
I've definitely got an addictive personality because I'm addicted now to women. All I want to do is date women all the time. I've got here now, I've got Janice, Jill, Patricia, Helen, Caroline, Francis, Julie again. There's so many names on emails on one page, and there's so many with the same names, so it's always hard to relate who's who,
I don't think I will ever satisfy whatever unusual needs that I have. I've been looking for an awful long time, and I've tried everything from bondage to anal sex to group sex to, to everything there is pretty much, apart from actually slicing bits off my own body or killing somebody, which are probably the last couple of avenues left. So, there isn't much else to try. So to be perfectly honest, where do you go from there? What do you do that is going to give me what I'm looking for when I'm not even entirely certain what it is? Always wanted to be an actress, always wanted to be a model, always knew I would be. I was aware of my sexuality and how I could use my looks to get what I wanted at such a young age, really young. And Mum always, she didn't like that about me. Quite perverted from a young age. And that's when she realised, shit, Chloe, she's just got a problem. So she sent me to counselling. I became really close to my counsellor, and then one day she showed me this photo of her family, and she looked really religious as well. And her son was just so hot. I just couldn't believe it. I saw her, I was like, wow. I ended up catching a train 2.5 hours away and going to the pool rooms and stuff and finding out where this guy hung out. And I just made it my whole mission in life to seduce him. And I did. So I dated him for 2 weeks, and then I was just bored of him then. So I broke up with him, and he was just absolutely devastated. He couldn't believe it. And she couldn't believe it. And she couldn't believe I did that, and she never ever saw me again. She just said, I can't, you're a really twisted little girl.
I mostly get on the sites in the night and then pick up their emails in the morning, you see. I've seen me getting up in the morning and having as many as 56 replies. That's the most I've ever had. Whether you'll read them is another thing, because you've got to realize these are also writing to other men as well, you see. But you keep on plugging on, and if they do go down to only about 5, and I go back on the sites and build up another 20 or 30, keep on, it's like a production, right? It's a full-time job, keeping this happy.
Yeah, Clive, that's me, okay? I was 56 then, I'm a bit older now.
My childhood
had more women.
When I was living with my mother.
Oh my God.
Very unhappy memories.
Can't believe that I said this.
And always getting hit, especially my father. I became really sexually active.
Let me holding my fish.
12, 13. And to me that was an exciting part of life. And the only enjoyment I was having then was having sex with girls. And that to me saved me from totally cracking up. I think otherwise I would have cracked up at an early age. I would have jumped over the cliff. But that spurred me on, the excitement of wanting to...
Yeah, same now.
Sleeping with them and having sex with them. So from then on, from my teenage days on, my life began to get a bit better. This was the early 60s.
Oh, I can't believe I showed...
Parents are very old-fashioned, like most kids who masturbate, you know. And my mother just happened to come up and catch me. And she screamed and shouted, "You're disgusting." And she ran downstairs, and I thought she was going to bring a stick up now, and like some of my friends had a stick, you see. And I thought, I'm going to get it now, I'm going to have a stick. But I was shocked when I saw her bring a bread knife in. She brought a bread knife in and she grabbed hold of me and she jumped on top of me and she was shouting, "I'm going to cut it off for you, I'm going to cut it off for you." And she was grabbing hold of my little Willie and going to give a knife. And I was screaming, I was terrified. I thought she was genuinely going to cut it off.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Sex for me in the beginning was very weird. I lost my virginity quite young. I think I was about a month off my 14th birthday. I took one leg out of my jeans, basically, and took my nipples off that way, and just laid there with all my clothes on with some sort of clumsy adolescent pouring at me. To be honest, sex for me probably didn't have any pleasure for very, very many years. It was always the way the man wanted it, you know, roughly from behind and being grabbed at and rummaged like an old carrier bag. It was just horrible. I can't explain how it feels. You feel an immense pressure in here, and I can't take any more. That's when I start worrying that I'm going to do something. It might just all come to a head. I might buy a bottle of wine, get really pissed, pass out on the sofa and throw up all over myself. Might be as simple as that. Or it could be as complex as suddenly we have a row, I'm out that door, and I don't want to go back down that path again. But that's how I feel.
Okay, there's an advert coming there now. I just want to say a bit about the model at the beginning. Collie, she's a top model now in London, okay? I'll give you some news about her now, okay? Because if you look at the rest of my videos, you'll see I got more clips of this documentary on YouTube. And she found out about it, that I was putting clips about me and her and things on YouTube. And she's disgusted about it now. Because back then, she was only starting to model. She wasn't so popular. Then she was all for it. And she was honest in saying that she was a sex addict and enjoyed sex. But now, she's sorry, she's done all that. And she was emailing me and everything, telling me to take them off. And I was saying, no. You know, because what I'm doing is putting the truth on the documentary that involves her, me and Kim, explaining how we enjoy sex. And she was annoyed with me that I wouldn't take them off. Well, you can see there's so many there, and also I've got other documentaries there as well that I've done, but this has got to be the best one. And of course I got books out now since, and she's in my books as well. Yeah, she's not happy, you know, about all this, but back then she was all for it, you see. She wasn't so popular, but now she's a top model in London now, okay? And she's ashamed she'd done all this. But she got nothing to be ashamed of, you know what I mean? This is life, you know. She was like that. She probably still is, but she doesn't like showing it now. Anyway, I've given her an offer. Just come down and see me. We can talk things over. Okay? I wish everybody in Shanghug a Happy New Year, and I'll say it in Welsh as well. Blwyddyn Newydd Dda I chi gyd. And I want to let you all know that this Welshman was out on Sky TV last night. I printed it out on the top from UK People website. It was my 17th UK television appearance out of the 5 documentaries that I've done. My 100,000 lovers. Again, on the bottom I printed my picture that was out on BBC America website last month. And counting my world TV appearance all over the world, including BBC America, UK, Australia, Canada and Europe, 37 times I've been on television all over the world. And yet I come across a lot of people in Wales who don't know I've been on television at all. And this is why I'm doing this, because the Welsh media are bloody hopeless. And people don't know that I've got a second book out as well. And this is it, Internet Dating King's Diaries. I'm on the cover of my second book with my tiger bed. And there's my name at the bottom, Clive Worth. Okay.